Hello everybody, I'm on a pretty beach. I'm on a pretty beach. I'm on a pretty beach. I might be singing allegedly to the beat of a movie from the 60s. I'm talking about the Yellow Submarine. The Yellow Submarine. The Beatles animated movie. I'm gonna stop that now. You're welcome. So, back in the 60s and 70s, I honestly may have said the wrong year in this movie anyways, but whatever. Back in the 60s and 70s, animation for movies was not restricted to just Disney and then the various CGI also rans that came later and followed either Disney's footsteps or Pixar's. Back then, in the 60s and 70s, animation was new when being sent towards the movies themselves, and the subject matter was allowed to be pretty much anything. 60s and 70s, you could be way experimental. You could do, as long as you could get money behind it and a theater chain to put it in the theater, you could do pretty much whatever the hell you wanted and potentially make an animated movie. That's how stuff like Fritz the Cat got made, and Heavy Metal, and a bunch of other stuff that does not get made these days in this country. Other countries, another story. Usually anime. But specifically, you have the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, which combines a drug trip of animation with a mostly incoherent plot / music video setup thing attached to the progenitor of the boy band. Yes, folks, I'm going to have the incredibly cold take that the Beatles were the first boy band. I know, hard-hitting. It's hard to believe I would say that. But yeah, the Beatles were the first real boy band. They were the template. The only really different thing is they came out of the UK instead of being manufactured in the States, or as we've actually come full circle to where the current boy band set came out of a different country, specifically Korea. So the original set, you had the Beatles, the Fab Four, the British Invasion starters. I don't know why they were named after insects. I don't know. Don't care. Not gonna look. I'm not gonna shame boy bands too bad. Like, it's music. It's fine. Everyone has different tastes. But it's unusual for a boy band to elevate past that these days. Like, you may have one or two will be really successful solo people, but the Beatles were like one of the big things in music, period, for a long time, and most of them had very long, fulfilling solo careers afterwards, and made what is arguably some of the most well-known music ever made. That's pretty high praise. I bring this up to give the context of, like, this film is just an animated collection of visuals, basically, set to Beatles music, and it's like borderline a Scooby-Doo episode, but while high, with a lot of acid, and everything else that they could find in their kitchen sink, and just, or, yeah, that's my gesture for taking drugs, thumbing my wrist and my wrist, and other ways to take these particular, mind-altering substances. My tongue should come out there. There you go. Yes, folks, if you lick me, you're going to have an experience of being me. Or tasting a cat's ass. Or his crotch. Or his armpit. I'm not picky where you lick me. Feel free to lick me whenever you like. I'm happy with it. Don't do that in public. Unless I ask. Or in a club full of consenting adults who like to lick things. Usually they're pups. Anyways, I'm stalling. This is allegedly a film. It's an animated thing. It's very much of the time. There's kind of a plot, like there's a world of singing things and really boring singing people, and they get attacked in a lot of weirdly war imagery style by the Blue Meanies, who are a weird collection of puffs of purple sheep with a masked robber Beagle Boy head sticking out. And they don't like the happy singing folks at all. They're bringing out guns and shooting them and turning them into gray monotone statue people, kinda. It's very Rainbow Bright-y, honestly. Hell, I'm assuming Rainbow Bright got the idea for stealing people's colors from this film. I have no context I have no proof of that. I'm just going to go with my gut and my ass and other body parts. So, Blumini's attack, wreck the place, and a captain gets away in the title vehicle, the Yellow Submarine, and goes to find help, which is the Beatles in London. So, of the era, he goes to get help from a boy band who are living in their horrifying Art Deco madhouse of a home studio. I don't know what the hell is going on. There's a Frankenstein in one part. Collects them all up, and they get in the submarine and go save the singing people place. And the journey goes across all these surreal, bizarro landscapes and scenes of just weird bullshit and strange imagery that some has context, some does not. Some of it just the designers and artists just went to town with as much and with all the blow they could. Well, no, blow's an 80s drug. The acid, all the acid they could muster, or put into muster and eat. And past that, like, there's like some Scooby-Doo-esque antics. Like, we even get the hallway gag a couple of times, no, for Scooby-Doo a little less. And they get to the singing happy place, and they assume the personas of the Lonely Hearts, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Say that 5 times fast. I'm not saying it. They assume those personas, and I guess that helps because they're actually real too. They were put in a bubble in like a space bubble at the beginning of the movie, and they team up with them and defeat the meanies with power and love and text, with text attacking a hand. Mr. Hand's ancestor isn't here, and he's very upset. Also, there's a lot of things you can see. A lot of influences later to other stuff from this thing. A lot of style influences. Other things like the Blue Meanies all seem to be ancestor. The main Blue Meanie, actually, specifically, he feels like an ancestor of him from Powerpuff Girls. He does the same high, soft and high pitched, then loud noises kind of talking anger style. I think he even has heels actually too. That would be adopted by him and the Grumble from All Real Monsters, and other similar characters pop up later like that. Again, Master Hand's in here, but he's purple and he's a glove. It's fine. He's fine. He's good. And then he has... Oh, and there's a turkey clown mime thing that's become a sidekick character, and I'm like... I see this thing, and I'm like... You know, I want to cook that thing for Thanksgiving, but I feel like if I eat it, I'm going to contract something that I can't cure with penicillin. So I'm just going to leave it alone. And... I don't know what to say about this thing. It is less a movie and more of an art piece, and at this point it's a artifact of history and musical history, because you don't really see musical boy band art project animated pictures anymore. I can't think of another one that has that exact description in it at this point. It's not like a remake of... Well, they were trying to remake this and it died, so, you know, good. It was a bad idea. That footage is terrible looking. Oof. But this is one of those things like, this don't happen no more. And if you like Beatles music, it's pretty memorable. It's got good... because it is a Beatles thing, it has a good soundtrack by default. If you like Beatles music, you're probably going to at least like the soundtrack to this. I have a low tolerance for 70s and 60s animation stuff in general myself, so I didn't get a ton of it beyond like, oh, every 30 seconds there'll be some horrifying weird creature design that I'm like, do I want to tap it? I'm going to have to think back on that. I'll have to get back to you on that one. That kept happening a lot. Like, a lot. Like, oh, there's a hot dinosaur thing. Oh, it's got creepy, huge, flat teeth. Ooh. I go, oh, that thing's cute. Oh, it's got a mime face. Okay, is that like, what the, why is it shaped like that? What are you doing? No! And so on and so forth for like 90 minutes. Yeah. It's weird. It's the Beatles. It's the Yellow Submarine. There is really not anything like it, period, at this point. Probably will never be made like this, anything like this again. Unless another... Actually... So, the Korean boy band's still a thing now? I did not pay attention or care. Like, do they have an animated movie coming out? Like, I've seen... Like, they have like a line of cute animal merchandise that's apparently for one of them. Like, does that have a movie? Is it a musical? Do they sing while fighting off weird, effeminate creature sheep things? Maybe? Or is it only in Japan? Or Korea? Maybe that's just in Japan. I don't know. I should go to Japan. I should really go to Japan. I should buy a boat. Like and subscribe. So on and so forth. Yada yada yada. Look at my Patreon. Look at me. Now look at you. Now you're me. Yay. Bye.